Whether you aspire to be a hotel manager or you're interested in the inner workings of the most successful hotels, today's episode of the Hotelier Huddle is for you. I spoke with Greg Brady, one of the most highly respected hotel general managers in Australia. He spoke about how his roles outside of hotels prepared him for leadership and benefited the teams he worked with. Enjoy. Greg Brady, thank you so much for joining the Hotelier Huddle podcast. I've so been looking forward to talking with you, and I'm so thankful for you taking time out to join the huddle today. The last time I saw you in person, we had that glorious lunch at the Sofitel Club at Darling Harbour before you left your last role. And I'm still thinking about that Sofitel Caesar salad, by the way. They do something very special to the croutons at Sofitel. I might try and pry that recipe out of you, but I digress. It's very nice to see you. Thanks for joining.
It's my pleasure. My pleasure. Thanks for asking me.
So I might just run down a brief intro for those in the hotel industry, the few that may not be familiar with the famous Greg Brady and your, I'll call it illustrious career. I believe, and you might correct me on this, but I believe your first general manager role was at the Central Christchurch in New Zealand. Is that right? Have I got that right?
No, at the Concord Hotel on the Gold Coast.
Oh, wow.
So there was
okay.
a small stint there prior to leaving and going to the Central Hotel Christchurch. Yeah.
Okay. And then you were GM at Holiday Inn Sydney Airport for 4 years. And my goodness, I know airport hotels can be a real chaotic gig. So, wow. Then you were general manager at McKeer Sydney for nearly 9 years. And then general manager, I think you were the opening GM, maybe you'll clarify that for me, at the 590-room Sofitel Sydney Darling Harbour.
7 years at Sofitel Darling Harbour, but I don't like to forget the time I had at as executive assistant manager at Crown Plaza Surfers Paradise.
Oh,
that was a great
okay.
experience as well. Yeah.
Wow.
Prior to becoming a GM. Yeah.
So maybe you'll tell us a little bit about those gigs as well. I know most people in the industry, certainly here in Australia, would be quite familiar with the range of awards and achievements that you and your team racked up at Sofitel Darling Harbour in particular, including Australasian Hotel of the Year, Deluxe Hotel of the Year. I mean, that ain't easy. Best hotel bar in Australia. Hello. And also some pretty major awards for services to the community, right?
Jerry Swartz and I were very keen to continue what we started with what we called Room for Hope, which was contributing to, at the time, one of the, we felt that a lot of our guests were coming from the country, coming from New South Wales country, Victorian country. So a lot of those children that were disadvantaged were supported by Royal Far West. So over 10 years, Jerry and I sort of contributed and it turned out with other Swartz family hotels to that charity. So we're very proud of that. Yeah, I think we were very fortunate at Sofitel Darling Harbour. We had a great team that were very interested in opening a new hotel and working with great people. Great things happen when you work with great people.
So true.
So, we did win a lot of awards, but, it was a brand new, shiny hotel and there was nothing that was needed refurbing. So we were expected to win, so just as well we did.
And that's an interesting point you make. And I wonder, which do you think is more difficult? Opening a brand new shiny hotel where everything is perfect from opening day, where the expectations are in the stratosphere? Or is it more challenging taking over or working with a property that's really tired and needs a lot of work and you've got to really turn it around? Which of those is more challenging or more fun even?
I think both of them are challenging. That's the role of a general manager, to take those challenges and enjoy it.
Yes.
And to create something better and realizing that you'll only create something better through people. You don't create something better through product, although product has to be good. So I think opening a hotel, and I've done it once, and other GMs I know have done it much more times than that. But I found it quite difficult.
Yeah.
There wasn't a lot of experience around in Sydney. We're the first luxury hotel to open in 20 years. So there wasn't a lot of knowledge.
Yes.
There wasn't a lot of knowledge about how to do that. So We had a great owner. Jerry Swartz was great, very supportive. Simon McGrath, as the COO at the time, was very, very supportive
Yes.
of that difficult task. But we did it
Yes.
after a couple of months settling in and getting through the difficult part. It turned out to be a wonderful experience.
Indeed. And, I've had the joy and benefit of working with Dr. Schwartz a few times over the years in the Mirvac portfolio. He owned quite a few of our properties, and we worked with him at a few of his Mirvac hotels. And then, of course, I again had the benefit of working with Simon McGrath at the Accor Hotels head office. And to your point about him being supportive, when I left Accor and started Snap Consulting as a consultant, he was extremely supportive of me starting my little business and,
Mm.
referred some GMs and referred me to some training. So I wanted to ask you, you mentioned then in a couple of ways about your team and at Sofitel in particular and the awards that let's face it, you're not just given awards, you earn them. And I imagine you have trained and employed and mentored and worked with countless hotel team members over the years. What is the one quality you look for that can't be taught? And how do you nurture the qualities that can be taught?
So that's an easy one. I started off life as a primary school teacher.
Wow, I did not
So,
know that. Wow.
so that, the background was in teaching. So it's seeing those people that have an eagerness to learn and don't think they know everything. I think one of the reasons why I put off my retirement was because I found out Maud Bailey was going to be the new head of Sofitel worldwide, and the opportunity to experience what she was going to give our company, Sofitel. And so I hung around for a few more years to understand what I didn't know and how I could learn from her,
Oh, I love
uh,
that. Yeah.
and experience the new growth of Sofitel and the new branding and the new bringing it to life with our customers. So um, I think finding those individuals, and there are a lot of them that are eager to learn, uh, that learn from their mistakes. We all make mistakes. That change the way they do things. They don't say that this is the way I do it and that's always the way that I'll do it, because if you take that attitude, you never learn, you never grow. So looking for people that want to learn is one thing that I look for, or did look for.
I would assume you have no regrets about putting off your partially retirement era and spending more time in the surf and sticking around those last few years.
Oh yeah, I didn't mind. I reached the goals that I wanted to reach in my career, and I'm happy to pick up some additional work post career. But I also enjoy surfing every day.
So, Greg Brady, you survived 3 decades of hotels claiming, I never took anything from the minibar. What's the most creative excuse you ever heard?
It didn't worry me if a customer said they didn't have it. We just let it go.
Yeah.
It's immaterial to the
Yes.
scheme of things. I do think that the relationship with the customer is the most important.
Sure
And we
is.
99.999% of customers are honest and and they want to experience something in the hotel. That's why they purchase a room. Our job is to make their experience really great, something that that they'll talk about.
Yes.
So if someone says they didn't have anything, they didn't have anything. Immaterial. Don't fight it. That said, I think the hotel industry is, my personal opinion, it's in for a generational change.
Mm,
Things like Minibar are antiquated. Why do we have two people walking around the hotel all day, checking rooms, knocking on doors, interrupting people, interrupting their day to check their minibar?
so true.
Um, so maybe the shopping cart, as that develops, people purchase prior to coming, and we deliver it to the room on arrival,
Pre-arrival
and it's
request.
packaged beautifully, and it's uh, and it's pre-purchased, so there's no argument. So that's maybe the way will go, or it may be something else. But certainly I think the industry's in for a lot of changes, uh, moving on from the traditional that we've been used to experiencing.
I agree, and that's such a smarter approach that you've described. And I know some hotel booking engines are actually already there where you can, engage with the guest pre-arrival and request and pre-purchase items and have it in the room on arrival. It's so much smarter because, um, I mean, in my observation, and maybe you'll correct me on this, but the minibar, to your point, is labor intensive. It's messy. And I've never seen a property that actually turns a profit on that line item on the P&L. It's always a break even at best, right?
Yeah, it's difficult. You got two people walking
Mm.
around in a large hotel all day, knocking on people's doors to find out they haven't consumed anything.
Yes. Yes.
And you have to, and prices invariably of minibars are quite high because managers are trying to offset the loss.
Yes.
So
Yes.
don't have it.
Yep.
Allow the customer to purchase what they want.
Agreed. So, other than getting rid of the minibar, and for the benefit of people out there maybe just starting a hotel career, if you could time travel and give your early career self one warning, what would it be?
I think worrying about transfers and where you're going, I think it's good if a young person, if they're prepared to travel and to experience different types of hotels, airport, resort, gain that experience across a multitude of different properties and different styles,
Yes.
that'll stand them in good stead for their future. I do think it's important not to stay in the one spot, to travel a bit, and and certainly if your career objective is to reach general manager and beyond, well, I think you have to do that. Yeah, to gain as much experience across the spectrum of hotels as you possibly can. I think that was a bit of advice I'd give to myself. Yeah, but then I had a young family, so it was difficult. We did travel New Zealand twice, different states of Australia, but it was hard with a young family.
Yes, and I think that's something that I've been very fortunate. It's something that you and I have in common is that we both worked for hotel companies that supported and encouraged moving around and, not just promotions, but changing hotels and trying different types of venues, different countries, even different destinations. And that's how I accidentally ended up in Australia for a temporary assignment almost 25 years ago. um,
Hmm.
but it really is key, isn't it, to either work with an owner or a hotel management company or an owner operator that will support and encourage that development and movement, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Thinking about your days back on site and being immersed in a hotel environment, what's the sound? A sound in a hotel that either makes your heart sing or makes your stress levels spike? Maybe an alarm or a ritual, perhaps.
I think I used to worry about emergency situations, about
Sure.
customers. It's a
Sure.
590 room hotel. You got 1,200 people. It's a small city, if you like, a small, you know. And I've been in three hotels where there've been significant emergencies where we had to respond.
Yes.
Um, so look, alarms concern me. I always normally go down and investigate, why did the alarm go off? Is it a real alarm or not? Yeah, I think all general managers would be concerned about the alarm or a smell of smoke or something like that.
Yes. Yes. I think it's something that people who don't work in hotels, people that aren't part of the hotelier tribe, it's hard for people to appreciate that the way that hotel general managers earn a living is very unique in that way. And that if something, a slight little thing, if anything goes wrong in your job today, you've got 1,200 souls you're responsible for and 590 rooms, or even in a small hotel, 30 rooms, and you're responsible for these people. So it's a lot to take on, and it does take a certain kind of character and mentality to stay calm in the storm and be successful at it like you were, don't you think?
I suppose there's a little bit more advice. Don't sweat it when you find
In
out that there's a problem, whether it's a guest that's extremely upset and making concerning statements, whether it's
Yes,
an alarm or you just have to settle. You'll get through this. Take it easy. Be controlled. Don't appear anxious. Don't appear panicking because you'll infect other people with that same. You're the general manager. You've got to show a particular sort of decorum and a particular type of action to give everyone else confidence.
Yes, and they're looking to you for all indications of what comes next and for leadership, right?
Yeah.
And, on the lighter side, conversely, for me, it was always that sound of a champagne cork being uncorked because it signaled guest celebrations and a big revenue generating event. Um, I've even heard some GMs say that satisfying ding of a lift arriving promptly spoke to well-maintained systems running efficiently.
Well, I think champagne cork, we had a bar called the Champagne Bar, so I heard plenty of those going off. So it possibly came a bit mundane.
Yes, yes, yes. Is that triggering to you now or satisfying?
No, not triggering, but I suppose satisfying.
Indeed.
I suppose the sound of a humming restaurant. And at
Ah,
Sofitel, we had a beautiful restaurant. And when people are enjoying it, there's a little hum about it.
yes,
So walking through
it's
the
a
restaurant when
chorus.
people are dining, I think that's the sound that I quite enjoyed.
Yes, it feels so good on the ears, feels good on the soul, it feels good on your mind because you're feeling joy,
Mm.
you're sensing revenue, you're sensing profits. I know what you mean. Yeah.
I never worried about revenue and profits. I'm more worried about our people and the customers.
And that is probably why you ran profitable hotels because you were obsessed with and concentrating on the right things, Greg Brady.
Well, I'll find out about revenue and profits when I sit down with my financial controller at the end of the day or at the end of the week, and we'll look at it and we'll understand it. But on a daily basis, it was the customer and our team members.
On guests and guest loyalty, I suppose, if you could create a hotel loyalty program perk, for instance, that no marketing team on earth or any branded company would ever approve, what would it be?
That's a hard question. Loyalty is so difficult.
Yes.
It's interesting now from the other side of the fence. I'm traveling to a lot of hotels in retirement now, and
Yes.
I want to see my loyalty benefits. So now I'm seeing it from the other side.
Yes.
Um,
Interesting.
Loyalty, how do they welcome me? There's nothing worse than a retired hotelier when they go to hotels, I suppose, because there's high expectations. But look, it's a difficult one. There are so many different people with different aspirations and different wants and needs that I think I could say something, but 100 other people would say 100 other different things. I think the one thing that we need to get right is the appreciation of loyalty. And I'm not too sure. Some hotels do it very well. Other hotels don't do it very well at all.
Sure.
So you've got to appreciate that loyalty customer every single day. So I think it's not so much a perk, but just getting the basics right.
Agreed. Agreed. And it seems obvious and it seems so simple, but it's often those obvious, simple things that you and I have both seen a lot of hotels just don't get right.
And that comes from leadership. That
Yes.
comes from setting the culture. So that's a big part when starting a hotel or taking over a hotel is what culture do I want? And starting the steps to get there because it takes some time to get that culture right and keeping it right because it'll change if you take your eyes off the ball. So once you've got that culture of appreciation and recognition, it's easy to lose if you don't keep your eye on the ball.
It isn't just magic, right? It has to be nurtured constantly.
Yeah, we have to lead it and we have to lead by example.
So now that you are in your partial retirement era and you're traveling around to hotels for a bit of leisure, a bit of work, a bit of consulting, um, after 36 years in the industry, if your early career self could see you now, is there anything that would surprise your early career self about your career and your current lifestyle?
Well, my early career self was a primary school teacher.
Yes.
My next career was a police officer, New South Wales Police.
Wow. No wonder you were so
And
good in
then,
leadership roles, Greg Brady. No wonder.
well, it's a mixture of being able to make a decision and think about the decision thoughtfully.
Fascinating.
I took my first job was a director of security with Sheraton.
Okay.
So then I went on from there. So yes, if I looked at when I left high school at Mossman High in Sydney here, and looked at, I would no way in the world have any foresight of ending up where I did. And I've got to say, without my wife in the background, my partner in my career, advising and coaching me along the way, I wouldn't have made it.
And you hear that of people that, especially to your point earlier about moving around and taking new roles into different types of properties in New Zealand and Surfers Paradise and then back in Sydney, unless you have a supportive infrastructure or partner and family around you, it's just not possible, is it? It's so critical.
Oh, yeah, you can't do it. And
Yeah.
Unfortunately, some hospitality marriages end up on the rocks because people don't want to move with kids, and I understand that. It's difficult taking them out of school, leaving their friends.
Sure.
And when we did come back to Sydney, though, we said, that's it. After leaving New Zealand the last time, we said, no, Sydney's it. We have to stay now because the kids were going to high school.
And that worked very well, didn't it? Especially for your owners?
Yeah. Yep. We had some longevity in a number of different hotels.
So 2 more questions before I let you get back to the surf. Is there, just thinking about, I know this sounds like a funny question, but I always like to ask hotel general managers this question. Which is more dangerous or messy? A wedding party or a corporate retreat? And are there any examples you can share? Or maybe you can't. Maybe they're still secret.
I regarded them as all fun. It was walking into an event and saying, okay, is this the best it can be? And talking to our team members who are the experts, offering a bit of advice, asking them for their advice of how we could make it look better and be better. I suppose there was one time at Sofitel in the early days when there was a large event at the convention centre.
Right next door.
Yeah, and it broke early, and everyone decided to come to the champagne bar.
Of course they did.
So we had people spilling into the restaurant, and it was very challenging for the team members. Yeah, but we got through it, and I can't recall any complaints. But I'm sure we didn't get to everyone with their drinks that night. But I suppose that was a bit messy. But then we sit down after that and we say, what do we learn from this? We need to have a great relationship with the convention centre to make sure that we have a full list of what's on over there, and if there's any likelihood of a breakout coming back to our hotel, we need to be fully aware of it beforehand.
Yes.
So we prepared numerous times for things that didn't eventuate, but we were prepared.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, you're always, preparing for the unexpected, and, you prepare for chaos, not calm. Isn't that the way?
Well, you avoid chaos.
Yes.
And you, because it puts too much stress and pressure on the people. So you allow them to, if there's something on, you allow them to staff up and make sure they're fully prepared. And if the event takes off, well, then we're ready, and people will see us in the best light.
Yeah. And, knowing you and your teams as I do, I'll bet that even, some of those, what could have been very messy, chaotic situations, I bet it resulted in probably the best guest reviews on Google and TripAdvisor and every place guests write reviews. That those situations probably ended up with the best reviews you ever had.
Well, people enjoy the evenings, so I suppose they reflect on us as well. So, yeah.
Yes. My last question before I let you go, I always like to end each Hotelier Huddle chat with a final toast. If you were raising a glass to celebrate hospitality workers everywhere, Greg Brady, what would your toast be?
I think, as I said before, don't forget there's something to learn that's new every single day. Cheers.
I love that. And cheers to you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. I appreciate it.